Hello everyone, welcome back. Till now, we have seen how British rule affected peasants, tribals, nawabs, and kings. But today we discuss something that shaped the minds of an entire generation, that is, education. British rulers did not just want land and revenue, they believed they had a cultural duty to civilize Indians, to reshape their values and thinking. They wanted to create a class of Indians who would be loyal and obedient to British rule. So the question was, how should Indians be educated? What should they study? And should education be Indian or Western? This debate continued for decades and it changed the future of India. Now, how the British saw education? To understand this clearly, we must see what the British believed about education and how Indian thinkers reacted to those ideas. The first one, the tradition of Orientalism. In 1783, William Jones, a judge appointed in Calcutta, arrived in India. He was a brilliant linguist. He knew Greek, Latin, French, Arabic, Persian, and soon started learning Sanskrit from local pandits. He studied ancient Indian texts about law, religion, politics, mathematics, medicines, and philosophy. He soon realized that many British officials in Calcutta were also interested in Indian knowledge. People like Henry Thomas and Nathaniel Hallett also studied Indian languages and translated Sanskrit and Persian works. Together they founded the Asiatic Society of Bengal and started a journal called Asiatic Researches. Jones and Colebrook believed that ancient Indian civilization was great but had declined. To understand India, one must read ancient sacred and legal texts. These texts held the key to rebuild Indian society. So they promoted Oriental learning, that is, study of Sanskrit, Persian, and ancient Indian literature. They argued that Indians should be taught what they already respected. If the British respected Indian culture, then Indians would respect British rule. Therefore, institutions were founded in Calcutta, Madras in 1781 to promote Arabic and Persian, and also Banaras in Sanskrit College to promote Sanskrit learning. Now, but not everyone agreed. By the early 1800s, a new group of British officials criticized Orientalists. They said Indian knowledge was unscientific and Eastern literature was full of errors and it was waste of money to promote ancient learning. James Mill argued that education should teach practical, scientific and Western knowledge, not poetry and religious text. He wanted Indians to be trained in modern science and technology. Then came Thomas Bington, the most famous critic of Orientalism. He believed India was an uncivilized country and must be civilized. He strongly recommended teaching English. He said English education would civilize Indians and also change their taste and culture and teach modern science and philosophy. Based on ideas, English Education Act of 1835 was passed. English became the medium of higher education and Oriental institutions like Calcutta Madrasa and Banaras Sanskrit College stopped receiving support. Now, in 1854, Charles Wood sent an important educational policy called Wood's Dispatch from London. It supported European learning because it believed it would. The first one, improve economic development, such as education would help Indians understand the benefit of trade, commerce and resources. It would also create a demand for British goods in Indian market. And second one, produce loyal civil servants. Education would shape Indians to be truthful, honest and suitable for administrative jobs. It stated that Eastern literature was full of errors and could not build morality or discipline. Following Wood's dispatch, education departments were set up and universities were established in Calcutta, Madras and Bombay in 1857. School system was reorganized. So, while the revolt of 1857 was happening on the streets, modern universities were being created. Now, what happened to the local schools? Let's talk about education before the British interfered. In 1830, William Adam, a Scottish missionary, surveyed local schools such as Pathshalas in Bengal and Bihar. He found more than 1 lakh Pathshalas and about 20 lakh children studying, and also schools were small and flexible and community run, and no fixed buildings and no timetable, no exams and no roll call. The classes under trees, in temples, shops or Guruji's homes. So fees depended on parents' income and teaching was oral and based on local needs, and timetable adjusted with harvesting seasons. In short, the system supported even poor children. Next one. After 1854, the company tried to control and improve vernacular education. They appointed government pundits to supervise 4 to 5 schools and introduced textbooks, timetables, annual exams and discipline. So students now had to attend regularly and pay regular fees. Pathshalas that accepted these rules received government support. Those who resisted lost funding. But strict discipline created a problem. Poor children could not attend during harvest time. Earlier absent was allowed. Now it was labeled as indiscipline. So many children dropped out. Next, the agenda for national education. By the mid-18, Indians began thinking about education themselves. Some felt Western education was necessary for modern scientific thinking. Others strongly opposed it, arguing it destroyed Indian culture. Two major voices of this debate were Mahatma Gandhi and Rabindranath Tagore. Gandhiji believed colonial education made Indians feel inferior. It killed self-respect and made Indians admire British rule blindly. He said English education was enslaved the mind and also cut Indians away from their culture and made people stranger in their own land. And also it celebrated bookish learning or practical skills. He wanted education in Indian languages and learning through work and crafts and development of hands, heart and mind. During the national movement, he urged students to leave British schools as an act of resistance. Next, Rabindranath Tagore started Santiniketan in 1901. As a child, he hated strict schooling. He felt it was a trap. He wanted a school where children were free, creative and happy. The learning happened naturally and also imagination was encouraged and nature inspired learning. Shantiniketan was built away from cities in a natural rural environment. It combined art, music, dance, science and technology. The difference between Gandhi and Tagore: Gandhi opposed Western modernity and machinery, and Tagore wanted to combine Western science with Indian culture. Both, however, dreamed of national education rooted in Indian identity. So, Unit 7 shows how education became a tool of control as well as tool for national awakening. British education aimed to produce obedient subjects but eventually inspired Indians to question foreign rule and build a system of national education. The debate about what true national education means continued even after independence and still continues today. So I will stop here. I will upload next unit in coming days. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel.